America's wildfire mystery just took a shocking turn. Everyone thought it was just another wildfire, another summer, another forest burning, another emergency response. But then something unexpected happened. Police arrested a suspect. Within hours, the story changed from a natural disaster into a criminal investigation, leaving thousands of Americans asking the same question. Was this wildfire actually started on purpose? Over the past few days, Washington State has been battling one of its most dangerous wildfire outbreaks of the season. Strong winds, dry vegetation, and extremely hot weather created the perfect conditions for flames to spread rapidly across large areas. Firefighters were deployed from multiple departments. Helicopters dropped thousands of gallons of water from the sky, while emergency crews worked through the night trying to stop the fire before it reached more neighborhoods. For families living nearby, every hour became a race against time. Many residents woke up to emergency alerts on their phones, telling them to prepare for evacuation. Some had only a few minutes to collect important documents, family photographs, pets, and whatever belongings they could fit into their vehicles before leaving home. Roads quickly filled with traffic as people escaped the danger zone. Meanwhile, firefighters continued risking their own lives to protect homes they had never even entered before. Officials later confirmed that several buildings had been damaged or destroyed. Power lines were threatened, smoke covered nearby communities, and air quality dropped dramatically. At first, most people believed the wildfire had started naturally. During summer, lightning strikes, dry grass, and extreme temperatures often combine to create devastating fires across Western America. No one expected this incident to become something much bigger. Then investigators announced a major breakthrough. Authorities revealed that they had arrested a suspect connected to one of the fires. That single announcement completely changed public attention. Instead of only discussing weather conditions and firefighting efforts, people immediately began asking another question. If someone intentionally started this fire, why? Officials have not released every detail because the investigation is still active. Detectives are reviewing surveillance footage, interviewing witnesses, collecting physical evidence, and examining exactly where the fire first began. Investigators say it is too early to draw final conclusions, but they also confirm that the criminal investigation is now moving forward. Legal experts explain that wildfire investigations are among the most difficult criminal cases. Unlike many other crimes, fire destroys evidence extremely quickly. Heat can erase important clues. Smoke damages nearby materials. Changing wind directions can make it difficult to identify the exact starting point. That is why investigators often spend days or even weeks carefully examining burn patterns before reaching conclusions. For residents forced to evacuate, however, those technical investigations matter less than one simple question. Will they still have a home when they return? Across evacuation centers, volunteers have been distributing food, water, blankets, and emergency supplies to families who suddenly found themselves without a place to stay. Community organizations have also begun collecting donations to help people recover if their homes were destroyed. Meanwhile, weather forecasts remain concerning. Meteorologists warn that high temperatures and dry winds could continue helping the fire spread unless conditions improve. Fire commanders say every shift brings new challenges. A small change in wind direction can completely change where the flames move next. For firefighters on the ground, that means no 2 hours are ever the same. And while crews continue battling the fire, investigators continue searching for answers. Because if this wildfire truly was started intentionally, the story is only beginning. As this investigation continues, another important question is beginning to surface. If authorities eventually prove that the wildfire was intentionally started, what happens next? Under Washington state law, intentionally starting a wildfire can lead to extremely serious criminal charges, especially if lives, homes, or emergency responders are placed at risk. Prosecutors would need to prove that the suspect was responsible using physical evidence, witness testimony, surveillance footage, and expert analysis from fire investigators. That process is rarely simple. Unlike most crime scenes, a wildfire destroys much of the evidence investigators would normally collect. Burned vegetation, collapsed buildings, Changing wind patterns and intense heat can erase important clues within minutes. Because of that, specialists often spend weeks studying burn patterns, satellite images, weather reports, and the exact direction the flames traveled before reaching a final conclusion. While investigators work behind the scenes, firefighters remain focused on an entirely different mission: stopping the fire. Crews continue battling difficult conditions as temperatures remain high and dry winds push flames into new areas. Helicopters and air tankers have been making repeated water and fire-retardant drops, while ground crews create containment lines designed to stop the fire from spreading toward additional communities. Every shift presents new challenges. A sudden change in the wind can completely alter the direction of the fire within minutes. Areas that appeared safe earlier in the day can suddenly become evacuation zones later that evening. For families who left their homes, the uncertainty is often the hardest part. Many don't know whether they'll have a house to return to. Some have been staying with relatives, while others are relying on emergency shelters and community support. Volunteers have been distributing food, drinking water, clothing, blankets, and other essential supplies to displaced residents. Across social media, Americans have also begun asking larger questions. Could this disaster have been prevented? Should wildfire surveillance systems be expanded? Do communities need stronger emergency warning systems as wildfire seasons become longer and more dangerous? Experts say climate conditions, prolonged drought, and growing populations near forests are making wildfires more destructive than they were just a few decades ago. Even without criminal activity, Western states are now experiencing longer fire seasons and increasingly difficult firefighting conditions. If investigators ultimately determine that this particular wildfire was deliberately started, it would add another serious layer to an already devastating disaster. For now, however, officials continue reminding the public that the investigation is still ongoing. No final court decision has been made, and authorities are asking people to avoid spreading rumors until all of the evidence has been reviewed. Over the coming days, investigators are expected to release additional information as the case develops. Firefighters will continue working to increase containment, while residents wait anxiously for permission to return home and assess the damage. One thing is already clear. What first appeared to be another seasonal wildfire has become one of the most closely watched investigations in Washington state. The coming days may determine not only how this fire started, but also whether someone will ultimately be held criminally responsible for one of the state's most significant wildfire emergencies this season. As more official information becomes available, this story is likely to remain in the national spotlight. Stay informed, stay safe, and we'll continue following every major development as it happens.